So one of the best things we can do on the Swiss ball is simply sit on it. And I like to play around with some different angles. So you can start by simply rolling side to side, reaching that hand towards the ground. Getting into the side bend, so laterally pushing the hips here over to the side and then reaching down. And then really doing your best to settle in to that pelvic floor with the pressure of the ball. Keeping those eyes up, natural breathing, and maybe a slight smile on your face. From there, we're going to widen out the base, and this is going to give you a little bit more balance. And I like to think of this as an opportunity to get into something like a horse stance. And this is a really great position to strengthen the legs, strengthen the pelvic floor, but it can be pretty demanding. So if we sit on the ball, press through those feet, now we can start to feel into those different angles that we'll be playing around with in the horse stance. And so I want to laterally get into the hips, and the pressure of the ball really helps open up any sort of tight spots, any sort of sticky points. So play around with that. And something you can do off of that, and always feel free to use the ball as support, is starting to twist through the pelvis a little bit. It doesn't need to be a ton, but I'll show you from the side. You can start to orient the pelvis, start to stretch into different spots. And just use that pressure to then start to kind of pin down some of the tissue, and then you're able to breathe into the ball. And move through any of those spots. So a simple flow with this would be just shifting your weight over to one side, like a lunge. I'm gonna move up a little bit more on the ball. Still gonna be in my pelvic floor, but shifting the weight over like a lateral lunge. And then you could even walk over a little bit, shifting the weight over. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. Just playing around with the different angles. And then that other piece, once you've gotten a few each side, would be starting to add some rotation. So I'm rotating through the pelvis, rotating back towards the ball. And playing around with those angles. Last thing we're going to do is do a little reach with the upper body. So I'm going to go ahead and walk one foot out, kind of take it into that lunge, rotate the pelvis this way. I can place my hand or my forearm down on my knee, and then I'm just going to reach over the top and breathe. So we want to feel that breath down into the ball through the pelvic floor, and then also feel that breath come up through the heart. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. So once again, extend that leg out. And you see I can have my hand on the ball here or on the leg. All right, so spend the next 2, 3, 5 minutes playing around with those different variations on the ball, opening up that pelvic floor, and then stand up. And my head might have just gotten cut off, but stand up and just feel into some of those same positions with a light little knee bend in terms of what is available for you.